Hello everyone, welcome to My Stitch With Me. Today I thought we would work on warmth of home. I know this is a favourite and we're heading for a finish, so we'll see how we go. I did some stitching on this yesterday and I did along the bottom and I've made it to the end of the chart, so you'll see that in a minute. So what we're going to do today is, I worked on a bit of blue yesterday, but I'm going to work on his paw today so I can get the paw situated and we'll see how we go. So I've made it to the end. I don't know if you can see that, but there's the end of the chart. Right there, that's the end. Hope I didn't make you sick with doing that. So today we're going to work here, which is going to be his paw. So we're going to work on this black bit of the paw. I thought that would be ideal for the Stitch With Me. So I hope you can, sorry, I just move you forward. I hope you can see this okay. And I hope it doesn't rock around too much. So we'll see how we go. Today is Sunday. It's the 19th, I believe. Yes, 19th of February. And it's only early. It's 10:30. So I thought we'd start early because it's going to be another hot day today. So I'm sitting here in the lounge room. Sorry, just counting. Yeah, I'm sitting in the lounge room with the fan on and the aircon on. So keep it nice and cool. It's only supposed to reach 31, last I heard. So that's not too bad. But it's the humidity that's so dry. Okay, we're all good. Just double checking before I started the next line that I'd counted correctly. Because sometimes me and counting just doesn't add up. So I hope everyone's doing well, getting lots of stitching time in. Now if you watch my last floss tube, I did mention that hubby came home and then he went again. He came home and then had Saturday, Sunday at home, and then Monday, Tuesday he worked, and then he went again on Wednesday morning. So he's back in Catherine again, helping out up that end because there was a lot of floods up there. So he's helping out up there. Now he doesn't come home now until the end of February. So he's got a bit of time. He's good job. He loves his job. He loves driving. It takes him away a bit lately, but what can you do? It's his work. He loves it. So apparently it's pretty warm up there as well. He has to go over the border. He has to get checked when he goes over the border, and when he delivers his load, they have to check it for quarantine. Oh, it's all different. I think he's carrying fruit and veg yesterday. Not sure what he's carrying today yet. Unless it's the same every day. Not sure. But he'll ring me again later this afternoon and let me know how he's going. We chat along the way during the day when he gets a chance and when he knows there's reception. But he's loving it, so that's the main thing. You seeing this okay? Yeah. So I thought we'd do warmth of home today. Once I've done these pads for his paw, I'll do more of the blue down the bottom and try and get the rest of the blue finished. There's a lot of colour changes down the bottom. That's why I thought I'll do his paw pad while we do a Stitch With Me and see how we go. Now we've reached to the end of the chart, or the end of the project. Now I know that, you know, we're on the home stretch. Once I've gone right along the bottom and going to start heading up, I know it's the home stretch. But it's been a fun one to stitch on. I started this the beginning of last year, so beginning of 2022. When I done my whip parade, I think I only had about 10 stitches in the corner, and that was it. So it hasn't been too bad. If I did it monogamously like I used to stitch, I could have got it done in 6 months, because that's roughly how long it takes me for one this size. But because I'm doing floss tubes, I didn't want to just do one project, so I decided to do a heap of projects. What a good excuse to start new ones. But no new starts this year, because I'm on no new starts and doing 23 projects in 23. So that's going to be good. I'm going to see how many I can get finished. This one will be a finish. I'm hoping Australia Map will be a finish. Once this one's finished, I'll put another one in as a focus, and then that one will get worked on every week without fail. But I think that's the next closest one that's due for a finish. And that's in the full coverages. And then in the non-full coverages, I think 16th century, I think, would be the first one to be finished in that one. Apologies if you can hear that child screaming. They're, well, he's not really screaming, they're only playing out the back. We've got new neighbours moved in down the back. It's a 2-storey house. Well, I've only seen a dad and a couple of girls. I don't know if there's a mum there or whether he just is a single dad, I'm not sure. But yeah, you hear the kids come out the back. They only sound really young. But they only play out there, and, well, girls are girls. They're going to scream when they talk to each other and play ball. So apologies if they get too noisy. If they do, I'll stop this and wait till they finish. So there we go. They don't stay outside long. They normally come out for about 5 or 10 minutes, then go back inside. Now I'm going to finish these on the front today, just so I don't have to wobble around too much. Anything wrong with these? These threads are good. These are 6. Oh no, this one's a DMC. The end of them is very fuzzy, like the CXC one, so I thought it was a CXC, but it's in the DMC. Just thread a new one. There we go. Sometimes they thread really easy, other times they take a while, but this one was good. It played ball. I don't think Tiger will annoy us today. He's sleeping on his little footstool. We've got footstool, and I used to rest my feet on it when I was sitting on the lounge, and he'd come up beside it, look at me and look at the footstool. So I'd ask him what he wants, knowing he can't answer, but ask him, what do you want? And then he'd tap me on the foot with his paw. So I move my feet, he jumps up. So that's what he was trying to tell me. So we brought new footstools for us. Excuse me. And he's got his own footstool now, so he jumps on his footstool all the time and leaves ours alone. So that's good. It's just like a bed for him. So he's happy. while Bruce has been away, I go up in the bedroom of a night and do stitching. Why won't you go in there? There you go. I normally take a small stitch upstairs, one that I don't need to take a lot of different coloured cottons with me, which is normally 16th century. I think that's why I've got so much done on that one. But I do that and I stitch up there for a few hours, and then Bruce rings, so I talk to Bruce, pack everything up, turn the light off and get into bed. And about 5 minutes after I just get comfortable, in comes Tiger. Climbs up beside me. Now if I'm sleeping near the edge, he'll give me a little nibble on the arm, as though to say move over. So I move over, and then he lays right beside me. And he's just got to touch. He's just got to be touching you. And then he just falls asleep. I wake up during the night to get a drink or go to the toilet, and he's still laying there. I woke up this morning and he was there again. So he's just keeping an eye on me, but he's a good cat. He's like one of those assistant dogs, but he's the cat. Wherever I go, he follows. Whatever room I'm in, he's in. He's just a good cat. He's loving the new water fountain. He doesn't jump up to the sink as much now in the kitchen, which is good. So he just drinks out of his water fountain now. So I just check that every couple of days and top it up. But he's loving it. He's only taken that lid off once. He hasn't done it again. So that's good. I don't know why he took it off, but he was just inquisitive. He wanted to see how it worked, I guess. But he's been really good. He's very fussy at eating. He would only eat biscuits there for a while. Now I tried all the different cat foods, all the tins, Whiskers. I tried all the good ones. I tried all the expensive ones. I tried all the cheaper ones. Until I come across, it's a little sachet. It's called Applause. Now there's 3 different fish flavours. So I grab one of each and I give him a little bit of that every day. Only a spoonful, because that's all he'll eat. And he started eating it. So I thought, well, if that's what you want to eat, doesn't matter the price of them. I mean, mind you, they're only, when they're on special, they're only about $1.75. So it's okay. And one sachet does him 3 days. So he's quite happy eating them now. So I'm glad I've actually found something that he actually likes besides just biscuits. He went to the vet's the other day to get his nails clipped. And they weighed him. And he was 6.8 kilos. So he's doing well. I spoke to the vet about his water drinking, how he would only drink out of the tap, out of the shower, out of the bath, anywhere but his bowl. She suggested the same thing because his bowl was plastic. Sometimes cats don't like drinking out of plastic. She said put a metal bowl down or a glass bowl, or get him a fountain. Well, I didn't know they didn't like drinking out of plastic. He's the only cat that we've had this problem with. But now he's got the fountain, it's not an issue. So that's good. He's a happy chappy. While hubby's been away, I've been doing a lot of cleaning. Did some gardening. Cleaned the oven this morning. But I'll get some... I like to do a little bit of cleaning or something that needs to be done before I sit down and do a couple of hours of stitching. And then I'll get up and do do something else. There's always something to do in a house. And then I'll sit back down for another couple of hours and do some more stitching. I like to try and average 1,000 a day on the full coverages, depending on how much confetti there is. I mean, you can't always get 1,000 when there's a lot of confetti. I'm doing these paws today, and then after the video I will do some more of the water, well, not the water, but the blue down the bottom. So I'll get my 1,000 in today. For the challenge I'm doing at the moment, I have to do 2,000 stitches. So I was only going to work on this for 2 days, which I did yesterday for 1,000 stitches. But because the challenge only started today, I can't use those 1,000 stitches for it. So what I'm going to do is I will be working on this one again tomorrow. So this one will get 3 days. So that's okay. I've worked out that I need to do 2 days at least on all the full coverages for the fortnight, and then the rest of the days I work on the non-full coverages. But taking in mind, I've also take one up to the bedroom, so I work on two charts during one day. So that's all right. Oh, let's see if I can thread this needle again, or whether it's going to give me problems. We will see. I come prepared though. I brought the needle threader just in case, because I was trying to thread it last night and this was upstairs, and maybe just the lighting wasn't the same. I don't know. I just had all sorts of problems. So I thought, oh well, I will make sure I've got a needle threader with me. And it's there then. Don't you hate it when you get one part of the thread go through and then the next strand won't? Kids are out playing again. It's good hearing kids play outside. You don't hear it enough these days. All kids want to do is sit on their iPhones or technology these days. Just trim these down a bit so they're out of the way. I had one question that I can answer while we're on here. I'll just bring that up on the phone. It's from Cheryl Lamining, 9062. I hope I pronounced that right. Sorry if I didn't. How long have you been cross-stitching? Okay, well I started 2016, I think. So I haven't been stitching for long. Because beforehand I've got 7 children, so stitching wasn't an option while they were growing up. Besides a lot of other things, but yeah, looking after the kids and doing everything, with 7 of them, you don't get much time to do anything for yourself. So all I used to do was just clean. By the time you finish, you clean again. So I didn't start till 2016. And hubby actually got me onto stitching. He said, why are you cleaning all the time? You don't have so many kids around now, you don't need to. So I think it was just force of habit. Why don't you do why don't you get a hobby, he says. Try cross-stitching. So he's the one that put the idea in my head, actually, and I'm so glad he did. Yeah, it sounds good. So I looked up a cross-stitch chart. The first one I did, actually I'll show on my next floss tube, because I don't think I've shown that one either, is Cronulla Sharks. Hubby's a Cronulla Sharks fan. So the first one I did was the Cronulla Sharks emblem. And it wasn't too bad. I carried a bit at the back so you can see it through the white. I framed it myself. The framing's okay. It's not the best, but it's okay for the very first one. So I thought, well, yeah, why not? And then I did one for me, which was a Parramatta Eels. So I did that one. I found the patterns online and did those two. And then my youngest son likes, it's a basketball team. It's purple and yellow. Typical. By the time you want to say something and you can't think of it. But anyway, he wanted Lakers. There you go. So I did a Lakers one for him. It's still here actually. He didn't want to take it with him, so that was a bit sad, but we won't go into that. But anyway, so I did that one. And then hubby decided he wanted a train one. So I said, well, okay, well you find a pattern that you like or a photo and we'll put it in Pit to Pat, which I found Pit to Pat by then, and we'll make it into a chart. So we did. He likes the Red Rattlers. They're trains. Now, they're only a Sydney train, New South Wales train. So he found the photo he wanted. It's a train going through underneath the Harbour Bridge, which is in Sydney. Drummoyne, I think. Don't quote me on that one. I'm not 100% sure. I'd have to double check it, but I know it's in the heart of the city. So I did that one. That was my very first big one. That was a 14 count. And that had a lot of blends in it because I didn't know anything else at that time. It had a lot of blends in it, so it took me a while. But we got there in the end, and yeah, I really enjoyed it. And then that was it. Oh yeah, pick another train one. I did that one, and then just sort of fell down the rabbit hole. Just kept looking for new patterns and falling in love with new patterns, and then I found Heaven and Earth, and that done it. But yeah, then I found Etsy stores and all these other places, and I'd only done, I think both the trains were done on 14 count at that stage, and so were the football ones. So I hadn't ventured out. They were both done on 14 count Aida. I actually got some pink Aida from Spotlight, I think it was, which was very stiff, but I didn't know you could wash it beforehand at that time. I didn't grid. Haven't gridded from the start. I have brought gridded fabric, but I don't use the gridding part of it. I don't follow the grid lines. I just stitch. I know that would help with my counting, but yeah, I think I'm getting through all right. So while I'm doing what I can, that's okay. Yeah, so since 2016. That's another bit of the question. What is your favourite count and type of fabric? Okay, well, it used to be 14 count. I've only stitched on Aida, but now I've ventured to 18 and 20 count. So I think 18 is my sweet spot. I don't know about, I'd like to try the 25 count and 1/1, but I haven't got that far yet. One day. I'd like to try even weave and Lugana. I do have some in the craft room. I think it's 20 count Lugana. So I'm going to try that next year because I can't start anything new this year. So I'm going to try that next year, and I'm not sure at the moment whether I use being a 20 count and being different to Ada. I don't know if I use 1 strand, 2 strands. Do I do it over 1? Do I do it over 2? I'm not sure yet, so I've got to work all that one out. But I've looked at it and it doesn't look too bad. I don't think it'd be too hard to use going from Ada to Lugana. I think the first few stitches might be a bit different. But once you get into it, I think it'll be all right. And then if I like the Lugana better than the Ada, then I will start doing my big projects on Lugana. But at the moment, well, this year everything stays on what it's on because I've chosen my 23 projects and that's the way it stays. Another one. What size needles and brand do you prefer? What other crafts do you do, and is cross stitch your favourite? Okay, well, I normally use a 26 needle. Sometimes I use a 22 or 24, but I think it's normally a 26. And I've just brought the DMC needles from Spotlight. I don't think I've got a little tub here, but I don't think I've got a packet. Oh, I do actually. So I just use these ones. The DMC's 26. And I just get these from Spotlight. They're normally about $3 a packet, or around that price. Just depends on what specials they've got on. But I find them okay. I've got one in every project that I've got. Every now and then I'll lose one. I'll get the project out and there'll be nothing on it. But I haven't had any trouble. I think I've only ever had one broken needle. I don't have any tarnished needles. Oh, I don't think they're tarnished. They don't look tarnished. They look okay. Yeah, I've only ever broke one needle. So as far as I'm concerned, they're okay. They're doing well. One needle for stitching that long, that's not bad going. To start with, I used to just get the needles from JK's. So I'm not sure what brand they were. I have got needles off of Wish. They weren't the best quality, but they did do for when I first started. So when you first start, you make do with what you've got or what you can get. And I had no trouble with them. But then I found DMCs and now I just keep them on hand, so I've always got them. Just in case I lose one. Like I said, I've got a needle in every project, so there's 23 needles floating. I lost one the other day. I got the project out of the bag. I was sitting in the lounge room. I unfolded it and then I didn't shake it, but I sat it on the footstool in front of me to go and get a bottle of water because I forgot to get my drink. So I did that and come back and no needle. I looked at the cat, I looked at Tiger and looked at the needle, the empty needle minder. I thought, well, no, I didn't have thread on it because I know not to leave thread on a needle because then he'll get it. So I'm pretty sure he didn't get it. So I searched the floor, I searched the cushion, I searched the project bag, no needle. To this day, I still can't find it. So I don't know. The cat's okay, so he didn't eat it. He would have known about it by now if he'd have eaten it. But it had no cotton on it, so I knew he wouldn't touch it. So I don't know. I have no idea where it's gone. Might just randomly turn up. We will see. Another thread. Let's see if I can thread this one. Oh, we've done 115 stitches. It's not bad for half an hour. Let's see if I can thread this needle again. Alright, done it. As for other crafts, well, I have done embroidery when I was younger. Mum brought me a Christmas stocking made out of felt, because that's what was around in those days. I've done embroidery on it. I don't remember it ever getting made up completely. I remember doing embroidery on it. I used to love doing copper art. I did that in school, and then I did a few of them out of school. But that never really took off, but they were nice to do. When all the kids were little, when there wasn't so many of them, but when I had the first two girls, I used to knit their jumpers and cardigans. So I used to do a lot of knitting, and I'd put moffats on the front of them. I remember doing a St. George the Dragon, because Kelly used to love that ad for St. George the Dragon. So I did a St. George the Dragon. So that was fun. I did a bit of crochet. Used to crochet the granny squares to make a blanket. I didn't seem to venture out of doing that in the way of crochet. I have ventured out now. I'm going to start making amigurumi. I think that's how you say it. I love watching their shorts on YouTube about amigurumi toys and Instagram, and they'd be fun to make, and can make them for the grandkids. So that'll be fun. I did do sewing. I made a beach bag when I was a teenager. I don't know what happened to it, but I remember making that in a bright yellow. And I used to put my towel in there and swimmers and that, and go to the pool. So that was back then. Didn't do much sewing after that, really. Once I had a lot of kids, I didn't really have time. But now I do the sewing and project bags and fabric baskets, needle books, all that sort of stuff. So we're doing a lot more sewing, and next year I'm going to open up a group just for all my sewing stuff to sell, with the project bags and all the other little sewing stuff that I've got, and stuff that I've made, like needle minders, and there's a lot of other stuff that I'm making to go into that next year. I was thinking about opening up an Etsy store, but I've been told to stay clear from Etsy stores, so I don't know. I keep getting mixed messages from Etsy stores. Some people say that they take money out of everything you make and put up for sale. They take a percentage of it. When you sell something, they take a percentage of that as well. So you've got to pay to put your things up in Etsy. So I don't know if it's all true. I've got to suss it out a bit more, but because I've got coasters and hangers and there's lots of stuff that I'm going to be putting up for sale that I've made. When I was younger, it was always my dream to own a craft shop, but a craft shop as in things that I've made to sell. And I never thought the dream would come true, but slowly I'm starting to get a bit closer. Whether I can keep it up or not is yet to be seen. I'm only one person, so we'll see. Maybe I've left my run too late. I don't know. But At the moment I'm just having fun making things and doing all the cross stitch. So that keeps me happy. As hubby says, if you're happy doing it, just do it. What's the words here? Oh, happy wife, happy life, he says. It's funny, I'd never heard that until I got with him. I feel like I missed out on so much when I was younger, but in the world. But we go forwards, we don't go backwards. I'm as happy as anything now, so I'm all good. Now this poor pad is starting to take shape. Well, that's all the questions I had. If you want to know anything else, just pop them in the comments, ready for the next stitch with me, which I'll do another one on Wednesday. I'm not sure what I'll be stitching on it yet, depending on these challenges now. Now the challenges are back. Like I said, the first challenge is 2,000, so that 2,000 will be done on this one. So that's today and Monday taken care of. And I've got a 150 and a 1,500. So we'll see. We will see what we stitch on. If you've got any preference, leave it in the comments. Warmth of Home was one that someone asked for. And plus I want to get this one as much stitchy time as I can. But I'm happy now that I've reached the other side of the chart, which is good. And we know the end is inside. Next time you see this one, the bottom should be all blue. Should be, depending on how I go with stitching. Because once I do this tomorrow, then I'll pick up another full coverage for Tuesday, Wednesday. So it'll probably be, I've got a choice out of, I think it's Lynn Fox Truck and Dark Tiger Jungle, or Dark Jungle Tiger Temple, something like that. So I'm not sure. The tiger one, I'm got to do a flower and then I'll reach the tiger's face, hopefully. And in the Lynn Fox Truck one, I'm still on the dirt trying to head to the bull bar of the truck. So leave a note in the comments which one you want me to work on out of those two for Wednesday. And I'll do one of those two, I think. So I want to work on, because I picked the 8 projects for the fortnight, 4 full coverages and 4 non-full coverages. So I think, so I've got them 2, Warmth of Home. There's one more. 1, 2, 3. What's the 4th one? Oh, that might be I Love You by Randall Spangler, maybe. Not sure, I'd have to have another look. I know in the non-full coverage is Red by Mirabilia, which I haven't stitched on that one this fortnight yet. Stitching Beauty, which I've been doing upstairs. I'm pretty sure I Love You was there. And Peacocks and Temple. Peacocks and, oh, my memory today is shocking. I know the peacock one is there too. That's a huge one. Being a being a non-full coverage, I can't take that one upstairs though, because that's on big scroll rods, and that's just using Silks for You colours. Be ideal because it's only one colour, but it's just too big. I don't want to take it off the scroll frames now I've got it on there. So that one will just stay there. That's a downstairs one. But that's okay. Next year I'm thinking of doing, I collect the Disney cross-stitch books from the newsagents every week. Don't know how many books there are. Just collected number 90. So I'm not sure how many it goes for, but so next year I'm thinking about, I'll still do whatever I've got left out of these projects. So I'll still be working on these, but I'm also thinking of working on Disney. I have a few full coverage Disney ones, which I can show you at a later date. And I have those books which are all Disney. So I'm thinking of having just one day at least that I just concentrate on anything Disney. Nothing in particular. Just a Disney pattern. Now I have a lot of them I can turn into coasters. I can put onto tote bags. There is so many. If you're interested, I could do a flip through on a separate video of some of the pages out of these books, which have such good designs. They have all your, oh, that one threaded really easy. They have all your fancy ladies, or toy shop, Toy Story. There's so many in there, and every week when I get the book, I look at it and think, oh, I want to start that one. Oh, I've got to start that one. Yep, that one will be nice. And no doubt we're all the same, but you can't start everything every time you buy it. Be nice. But I thought, yes, I thought next year, because I don't know which one I want to do. I've got ideas of which ones I'd like to do, but no specific one. So I thought next year I'm just going to have a day where I just find something Disney and just stitch on Disney. Because I want to get things done that I have in my stash. And these are just being collected, so they're in my stash. So we'll see how we go. But if you're interested in me doing a flip through of some of the Disney designs that I want to stitch, let me know in the comments, and I'll make that a separate video, and we'll just do like a stash dive with them. I've got them all in folders, so they're all separate. There's lots of different things in there. So if you're interested in that, let me know in the comments and I'll do a separate video with them. Oh, might as well finish this this little paw. Yeah, so next year's going to be an interesting one. There's a couple of full coverage ones from Zara. I think it's Zara Cross Stitch. She's an Etsy seller. As far as I know, they're original patterns. I don't think they're copyrighted. I don't know. I'll double check, but I don't know if it's Zara. There's the lady that I got them off. I've heard other people have got them as well. So she's a common name heard. So once I can remember her proper name, 1, 2, 3, you'd probably know her. But there's a few people that have got the charts from her off Etsy. I'll just mark these ones off. This black has given good coverage. So I'm not sure if it's DMC or not. I've got a funny feeling it might be CXC or Anchor. It's just been put in with the DMC ones. Because it's giving good coverage. And it does fray a bit on the edges like the CXC ones do. So I'm not sure. Not that it really matters. Black is black. If you've got a black, it's not going to matter which company it's from. It's still gonna look black. So it's all good. Just a few more stitches to go and then we'll call it quits for today. And then I'll get this uploaded. It's a bit longer than normal, hope that's okay. We're on 45 minutes. A bit of a long stitch with me, but that's okay. We didn't seem to run out of things to say today. Maybe it's just because I haven't spoke to anyone, so I needed to talk. We'll put it down as that. Oh, but February is nearly gone already. Then we'll start getting into the cooler months here in Australia. Because summer finishes at the end of February. We go into autumn. Can I do this last stitch or is these cottons in the way? No, they're not. Well, that's it for me now, guys. Let's see. Well, we ended up doing 198 stitches. So that's not bad in 48 minutes. Well, I hope you all enjoy the rest of your day. Like I said, I'll do another stitch with me on Wednesday. Let me know whether you want it done on Lynn Fox Truck or the Dark Jungle Temple Tiger, I think it's called. Yeah, so let me know. Hope you enjoyed this stitch with me. If you've got any more questions, let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching. If you haven't subscribed, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, hit the little like and the notification bell, and then you'll know when I put up the next video. Happy stitching. See you later. Bye.